Hey!
Can I do that?
Welcome back to the break room. Happy last day of Pride, everyone. And hello to my mother watching from Bechtold Manor all the way back in Rochester, New York. I'm your host, Tommy Bechtold, and today we're talking about a little film called Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Hello. Here's my co-host today. To my left, Whitney Van Laningham, my work roommate. Whitney, how are you?
Roommates. Oh, dude, I'm doing so fine today.
Yes.
Fine like Harrison Ford's 80-year-old abs, baby.
Wow. Speaking of so fine, to my left, we have the Ringer's Jessica Clemons. Jessica, you can't host because you don't work here anymore.
I know. As soon as John was like, hey, you want to be on? I was like, yes, Brandon's gone. It's me, Whitney, and Tommy and Jay. Who's going to host? None of us are able to host. It's the four of us.
Speak for yourself. I can host.
We're not allowed to
We're not allowed to.
They don't let me host
And
anymore.
a fact that remains true, and seated at the right hand of the Father, the man, the myth. It's actually, you got to make a reservation for 3 because this man's arms are so large. Jay Washington, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is just a living Instagram filter, as I like to tell everyone. This is not real. Don't believe this.
It's not, look at the angle I have to take a sip
I
of
know.
my... I have
Let's
to
switch
like,
spots.
No.
This is
I use them
strong,
as...
young boy.
I'm naturally getting heated by these.
Let us switch spots.
All right, so as always, we are definitely going to spoil this movie, okay? So if you haven't seen it yet, stay as long as you don't mind being spoiled. But don't get angry at us, because we're going to talk about this movie. We liked it, you know, for the most part. I think we're going to be very positive. And then we'll be uploading this to the Breakroom channel later today, and it'll be available to watch over the weekend for everybody. Okay, I'm starting to get a cramp.
Okay, I just wonder
It
how
was
long-
really
That's
cute to
nice
see the
to
gender
see.
swap side of the table, though, for a moment.
Yeah, just
Because I'm definitely Jay and you are definitely Tommy.
It's true. We're like choose a character in a video game, but you change their outfits.
Yeah, exactly.
And genders. We're going to be reviewing this movie by giving, you know, our usual break room score of 1 to 5 in different categories, and at the end we'll arrive at a singular number. The categories are the script, which is story and writing, the visuals, the acting, the directing, and finally, and perhaps anticlimactically, sound and music.
Why is the sound music at the bottom?
The hills are alive, bitch.
Yes.
My bad.
Music.
It's Freaky Friday here, and the freaks come out at 3, sometimes 3 or 5
out at night.
Now.
What? Freaks come out that night.
Ooh, I'm like Houdini with the magic stick. If you have questions you want us to answer, please drop them in the chat. We'll try our best to answer them, but keep them related to the category, and we'll prioritize those, because I'll tell you what, our producer, Evan, he's a taskmaster. And if he sees you get off category, he's not going to share that question with us.
Evan doesn't F around, y'all.
Evan is, let me just describe him to you physically. He's 7'1",
Yeah.
500 pounds of pure muscle.
He came in here yelling at everybody, talking about stop being so funny and be serious. And I was like, I just wanted to have fun with
right.
my friends.
Are you guys talking about Evan Yee? Because that is not him at all.
Evan carries around a Gorilla Glass basketball hoop
Like
that he
this.
dunks on
He
all
just
day.
does
In front of
all day.
I like the idea that Evan just palms a basketball and just walks through the office to
does
assert
that.
dominance.
He does it every time he's right.
So if you're ever wondering why we're all a little bit afraid when we do these, it's because we want to keep him happy and stop being dunked on so hard. So as I said, we'll check in at the end of each section and answer your questions. Let's start with the script. Let's talk about the story and writing. We had 4 credited writers on this: Jez Butterworth, John Henry Butterworth, David Kopp. I'm going to say it's Kopp.
Good.
And James Mangold, who also directed the film. Yes?
I thought that was your roommate, your old roommate. But I was thinking of James, a different
Mastriani.
Yeah, I was thinking of
Brilliant
I was like,
LA
your roommate?
improviser James Mastriani with a shout out on the break room.
I thought for a moment, because you also know a lot of big name people.
I do. I am a man about town. So let's talk about what you guys think of the script overall.
Well, first of all, I didn't know that their last name was Butterworth.
Yeah.
Me neither.
That's I thought you were joking. And then it was
Mrs.
like, oh
Butterworth.
no, because James Mangold's a real name, so
Right.
the other ones also have to be real names.
It's kind of like how the family that owns the James Bond franchise are the Broccoli family.
Yeah.
You are obsessed with that.
I
It's
like
weird.
it.
I like it too.
Yeah.
I thought the script was really good, but I also came, and I think out of everyone in this table, I've seen the least amount of Indiana Jones.
Oh,
and so
I'm probably with
going with every time I'm a person watching Indiana Jones and being like, it takes so long to get to the like main story point that it was always like so hard for me to watch it growing up. So I had to watch it sporadically. Sometimes I'd fall asleep, go back and watch it in the morning and finish it. And then watching this movie, I was enticed the entire time.
Wow, okay.
And I think that script change from, I mean, the originals came out in the 80s. So I mean, I'm giving them some leeway. But this one, I was like, oh, it's timed perfectly. I love this intro. It's so much fun. And I overall really enjoyed the script. And I think people that did love Indiana Jones would still love this script. Like you.
Yeah,
Like you.
I really like Indiana Jones. I accidentally forgot that we were doing a 1 to 5 scale because they asked me yesterday and I forgot to do script and I kept trying to rate it an 8.5.
Yes.
So
And all of my coworkers were like, "No, you can't do that."
I think you also
What do
rated
you
it a
mean?"
whip's ass.
Oh yeah, I rated the script as whipping ass, and
Whips
I
ass.
made them figure out what number that was.
What
So
number
it's
is
a
that?
5.
Oh,
It's if anything whips ass, it's a number 5, or an 8.5 on the Whitney scale if you're going by those numbers. So the thing that I liked the most was the subverted little "where does it hurt" everywhere. I thought that was really, really amazing. That was such a great way to end this movie because that was, it was like a really sexy, cool, sensual part in the original movie.
Yes.
But in this one, it was more like everything we've been through.
Yes.
Together. Like it wasn't just like, oh, I got banged in the face with a mirror by accident.
Right.
Like it was more like our son died in Vietnam and
Right.
we've broken up and gotten back together a billion times and like where does it hurt everywhere and then they get back together.
Can I ask you one question? How did you feel about that? We're spoiling, right? We're allowed
Yeah,
to spoil.
spoilers
Yeah,
ahead.
sorry.
How
Yeah.
did you feel about that line just being that so quickly of like my son died?
Well, first it's a news thing. When he's watching the report about him being wanted on TV, the reporter goes, he had recently lost his son.
Oh, I
didn't
and then
notice that.
I think they're like, maybe they panicked and were like, we got to insert a shot of him saying it out loud.
They
Yeah.
also, I was like, they also have to acknowledge that was the last movie, right?
Right.
That was the last
Yeah.
movie that came out. So, but I remember as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh, I forgot.
I mean, I think that what actually happened was that Tommy and I laughed out loud in the
We did,
theater when we
unfortunately.
heard that, and not
because that's funny.
not out of disrespect to anybody who passed away during the Vietnam War, but just the fact that that was the way that they chose to handle
Yeah.
a problematic actor that they didn't
Yeah.
want in the franchise anymore. They were just like, oh, we'll just kill him,
Yeah.
and that is
Yep.
hilarious.
Do you think they even had to bring it up, or do you think we needed that?
Yeah.
No, we
Yeah.
did. No, we needed it.
I think
It's
for
like, it
Marion
made
to be in the
sense.
movie,
Yeah.
they need to
Oh,
talk
they
about
have
what
to talk
happened to
about
their
their
kid.
child.
Jay, what did you think, script-wise?
Overall, I enjoyed it. I felt there were certain things that I was like, nah, because it's just Indiana Jones is an Indiana Jones thing. He does all these adventures. But Harrison Ford is 84 years old.
Right. He's turning
He's
81.
81 on July
He's
13th.
80 right now. He's turning 81 on
83.
July 13th.
July 13th, that's my ex-boyfriend's
I hate to be a stickler on
birthday.
this.
That's Harrison
Yeah.
Ford's birthday. In my mind, they're both my ex-boyfriends.
Okay.
So
You got to fight a lot of people for Harrison Ford.
You gotta lay on that.
I'll do it.
There's
I'm
a lot
gonna
of
be his Pacino or his De Niro. I want that man to Pacino
Yes.
De Niro me so bad.
Oh my God, I want
will
Pacino
have
to
all of
Pacino
his
me.
babies.
Jesus. All right, Jay, back to
Harrison
what you
Ford.
thought about the script. My God.
Well, before we started talking about human turkey basters,
I'm leaving. I'm going home.
Jay, very quickly, what did you think about the script?
I'm trying. I think there's certain parts that just didn't add up fully with me because they didn't need to do.
Yeah.
Some parts are just like it's too drawn out.
Yeah.
And that's part of the script and
Yeah.
things like that. So that's why I gave it a 4.
Yeah.
Because of that.
I think we'll go through scores. My last thought on this briefly, that script and directing were my two kind of issues with this movie. I really like this movie. I'm a huge Indiana Jones fan. I'm never going to be it's hard for me to be hypercritical. This movie delivered on a lot of nostalgia, a lot of great callbacks. But I thought it was too long, and I think a lot of that is in the script. There were things that I think they indulged the director and the actors in a lot of extra, kind of chewing the scenery. Now, they're actors we love, and so, as a fan, I watch it. But I think if I'm like someone getting into the franchise, there are parts that dragged a little bit for me. So let's see what our scores were, everybody. We've got Jay gave it a 4, I gave it a 3, Jessica gave it a 4, and Whitney gave it a whip's ass.
Can I
Whip's
clarify
ass.
one thing?
Sure.
You were in the group text.
Yeah.
I originally did give it a 3. I
did.
also gave it a 3. But there is not another Disney movie where a black woman says crack ass cracker.
That's a good point.
So
Which
it went up
about
to a
it-
4.
that goes in
It went
script.
up to a 4. But it would have also been a 3 because they kill her off very quickly.
Yeah.
And she was a very good person in this
If
film.
you're
She was
watching
fucking
this
great.
right now and going, why are they gonna bring up the black woman getting killed? Because it was the 60s. It was 69
Yeah.
in New York City, and you were telling me that it was the only black woman beside the dude that was doing room service.
And then the poor man just got like interrogated about what side were you on. And I was like,
Jesus Christ.
I was like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, you know.
But it was, either way, I did originally give it a 3, but it got a 4 because it's so
Trigger
funny.
Happy Crackers too. So.
Trigger Happy Crackers. Put it on a shirt. Put it on a mug.
I don't know if you
Make
should
an actual
do.
cracker product, as I said, by Nabisco. Great branding opportunity. Maybe the Keebler Elves start making Trigger Happy Crackers. Christian Unpronounceable says, okay, my only question for Dial of Destiny is, are there supernatural events? I will say, if you're asking for a spoiler, there are events beyond the understanding of the current scientific world.
Yeah, but that's
Basically,
like
anything
every Indiana Jones movie.
Right, and anything supernatural or whatever. We know this Dial of Destiny is talking about time travel.
Yeah.
And basically it tells you it's not anything but just science.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just science.
Yeah.
And it's
I
like,
guess
okay.
they see
And
some
math.
some form of a ghost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's so interesting because I think the term supernatural, how I'm going to be handling it, is so surface level of like,
Yeah.
oh, you're talking about ghosts. You're
Yeah,
talking about
that's what
things
I
that
thought,
are scary.
too.
Yeah,
Because I'm like, no, we're more
werewolves.
stuff.
There's no werewolves
There's
in
no
Indiana
werewolves in
Jones.
this
That we
fucking
know of.
movie. But there is sci-fi.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
I love
absolutely.
sci-fi.
It's sci-fi and it's like, religion as usual.
Love
There's
religion.
got to be a little bit of religion in there.
Yes. I mean, it's an Indiana Jones film. The Malorian asks, is this film more in the vein of Indy 1, 3, or 2 and 4? Okay, grouping
I'll
the
leave
two.
that to you and Whitney.
Yeah, Whitney, I'm just reading your thought. Mine was, it's a return to form performance-wise to the original trilogy.
Yeah.
But I will say kind of some of the science and math and sci-fi is a little more 4-ish to me.
Yeah,
Your thoughts,
I
Whitney?
actually 100% agree with that. I would say that like performance-wise,
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely closer to 1 and 3. 3's my favorite, just gonna say it. But I think that it reminded me a lot of 1. There was a lot of like parallels in like the acting style, and it's just really cool to see Harrison Ford being like happy about doing a role.
Doing
Yeah.
something.
Like you could just tell that he's like actually stoked to be there, like he was in the original.
Sure.
But I do agree that like yes, a lot of the like sci-fi-esque aspects of it are more like 4, but they still have that like religious historical.
I think it has the
tie.
charm of that
from-
was kind of missing from 4. in my
Yeah,
opinion.
exactly. Because four is just like aliens. This is still
Yeah.
like history. This is still like facts, science, but then it's magic.
There's a couple times though you see Harrison Ford just look at the camera like, I'm done with this.
I'm
You
fucking
can
done.
just tell he's tired. He's just like,
Oh, the best part for me was seeing an actual old man run and be tired.
Yeah.
Yes.
On camera, like and they played, and I'll give them that for script. I'm like, or maybe this is a direction part. We'll get into in directing, but I'm like, good. I'm glad
Good.
because he's an older man. Please don't have him doing backflips
Yeah,
out
it
of
doesn't
nowhere.
need to be. It doesn't need to be weird like show of virility for a man in his 80s. It's
Yeah,
like
no.
show it how it really is. And Harrison Ford takes good care of himself.
He's a college professor in universe. He's just
yeah, but he's also an alcoholic. Let's not forget that
true.
morning coffee.
There's a good
True.
point.
If being an alcoholic gives you that body, no, I'm
I'll
just
keep
starting
doing
today.
what I'm doing, I guess.
starting
Hey,
today.
happy hour after this, guys. Let's talk visuals. And let's talk about the cinematographer Feedin' Papa Michael. What
Oh,
a
that's that pigeon
What
for
a
a
great
second.
name, Feedin' Papa Michael, who also shot James Mangold's Ford v Ferrari. What do you guys think about the visuals?
That
on
makes
this one?
sense now.
The way it's shot,
that
yeah.
makes complete
For me,
sense now.
visually, it was amazing. Like I was telling them, I saw it in Screen X. For those who don't know, it's a
that's
panoramic view, and there are certain scenes where you're encapsulated by everything. So seeing it, I was like, "Ooh, okay, all right." And I have like ADD, so I'm trying not to look at the side, but also focus. Like, what is over here? But visually, it looked amazing throughout everything. Even when they deep faked them in the beginning. using his younger face.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have to de-age him.
Yeah.
They had all the clips of his face. They were like, we're just gonna use what we have.
Miss me with that voice, but yeah, the face looked great.
That was the thing. That was the only problem I did have.
When we get the direction, I will give my
Because the voice is current Harrison Ford, but the face is young Indiana Jones. I was like, don't nobody
the
hear
face looked great.
Yeah, they're
I
bringing
thought it
Grandpa
looked
in there.
They're doing great with face work. They're doing great with face work.
Hey,
moving their face
kid, you
work.
got a great face.
Hey, kid,
you
you
have
got
great face work.
Someone made a great point. I think it was one of our editors, Drew. But if it was if it was either of you that were there that night as well when we saw it,
I was thinking about this just now too.
that part of the voice is justified by the fact that at the very beginning of the film he's being hung. So his voice might be kind of
Might be
damaged.
strained because
I know
there's
that's a
the road
stretch,
out.
but
It's a stretch. I
thought
get it.
I
I'm
thought
like,
it was cool,
oh, that's,
though. I
that's
was
cool.
like, all right,
Also,
that's
what if
probably-
the science of it is like, yeah, your voice actually gets higher instead of getting lower?
Well, it's
Has
tough.
Drew ever been choked?
It's tough to know because
I know,
after
it's
you're
true.
hung, you usually don't get to respond, right?
Yeah.
Usually, like for the most
But
part.
this
Some people
time,
do.
Yeah.
I think visually,
Look, we don't know what people's kinks are now around here, so we don't know how they sound after they're hung and then do what they
Well, I've been hung my whole life. So what do you
There
think
we
about
go.
the visuals?
There it
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it. I was like, we've
for
said
it.
hung at least 20 times.
at least enough times.
The hung tax. But anyways, I think I gave it.
Well, we'll see what everyone's scores.
Okay, I was like, I forgot what I gave it, but
Remember, the
genuinely-
scores come at the end, guys. Please stick to our very
Well, I
stringent
don't want
format.
to applaud it and then be like,
Evan
oh,
is
now
going-
I remember why I gave
Evan
it
is
a
going
2.
to get us, y'all.
Evan will fight me.
Oh my God, he's moving the basketball hoop closer to us.
Why is he holding 2 basketballs now?
Oh, he dunked them both!
Ah!
Oh my God.
Damn, Kevin Durant shaking.
Wow.
I think it was okay. I think it was really fun. I think a lot of it for me, which I think this is nostalgia's point, was like, oh, I feel like I'm at the Disneyland Indiana Jones party.
yeah.
Where I was like, there's so many weird props. Like when they are at the gambling scene, I was
Yeah.
like, this feels like a room that I pass in the
Yes.
Indiana Jones
Oh,
room.
that is a
Yeah.
great.
And-
it does feel like a line
Yeah.
for a ride. That's
Yeah.
a great point.
I think Star Wars does a good job at not doing this, where I'm like, oh, I don't feel like I'm at Disneyland, but this one I was like, it is so weirdly meticulously placed. Every little part that I was like, visually, I don't really like this. And then when we do go to the war, I was like, this is weird. I was like, this kind of looks funky.
Yeah.
But I also was just like, this is Indiana Jones. It's supposed to be fun. And it is very fun. So it doesn't really deter me. But I was genuinely like, if I had to mark it on visually and being at the ringer, we have to literally nail this shit in. I don't think it was
All
that
right,
good.
final thoughts, one sentence each for the visuals. Going down the line, Whitney.
Okay, visually, loved how hot Harrison Ford was. Didn't mind the de-aging at all because honestly, there are way more egregious VFX and CGI
Agreed.
choices throughout the Indiana Jones series, and I think it's fun and you should see it anyways, even if you hate de-aging.
Jessica.
It's okay.
It's okay. Okay.
Me like.
Me like. All right. So our scores. Jay gave it a
Because
5.
me like.
I gave it a 4.
Because you know like.
Jessica gave it a 3, and Whitney
She
gave it a
really-
5. So yeah,
Jay,
like what we
stop.
See
said.
an outline of his dick through his boxer.
That was not for
That's
me!
a 5.
Wait, if
That's
I
a
would
5
have
for
wait a
me.
minute. If I would have
Hold on,
known
let me
this
show you
earlier,
something.
I would have gave it a 5.
Speaking of outlines,
I got on
guys,
these hoochie daddy shorts today. We're going to do. Oh, no.
you can see an outline of my always perky chest at our new nerdriot.shop Indiana Jones
That is
shirts.
not- that was Indiana Jones.
Be sure to check out nerdriot.shop. We've got this Indiana Jones shirt. Jessica's got our Secret Invasion,
Secret Invasion.
Nick Fury Skrull combo. These are merch inspired, of course, by Indiana Jones Dial of Destiny and Secret Invasion. These are hot off the presses, guys. We don't really have a lot of them here yet, other than these. And
I love how tan
Oh, we
this
also have our
Barbie is.
Barbie Oppenheimer
Oh wow, that Barbie is.
it's
hybrid shirt.
Oppenheimer.
And remember,
I was like, what black woman is that?
it's not a.
Don't
I
criticize
I don't
what
think
we
it's
like,
not.
Jay.
Anyway, the best way to support the channel is, of course, to praise the shirts unconditionally and go to nerdriot.shop. I wear them. We all wear them. We love them, and they're comfy. Feel
I
this.
love. No, I'm gonna stay like
Yeah,
this the
it's
rest
like
of the show.
literally
It's like a
on her
blanket.
You can feel it.
This
You can
scroll
feel it.
shirt is really sick. One last fight. This is beautiful.
Yeah, I love it. I love our Secret Invasion
Who
shirts.
designed this?
The Barbie shirt's always a crowd pleaser whenever I go out on the town in it. Let's talk acting, because out on the town is how I felt some of the acting was. Out of this world. How did we feel about the acting here? Now, before we do this, I have to mention yesterday, very thrillingly for me, because I'm a huge fan of his work, I got to speak to Boyd Holbrook, who played a pretty horrific American Nazi in this movie. And, we know him as the Corinthian in Sandman. We know him upcoming. He was Logan. He was Donald Pierce in Logan, and he'll be in the upcoming Justified City Primeval as well. I got to sit down and have a chat with him. We talked about some of his old characters. We did talk a little Indiana Jones. What did we think about the acting?
Wait, what did he say?
Yeah,
I can't say. You got to watch the interview.
Jesus.
I'm not going to say, but let's just put it this way. Some of the things he said were pretty surprising. Oh, God.
Surprising.
Evan's pulling the basketball hoop back out.
Oh, no.
He's lighting one of the balls on fire.
Oh, no. Anyways, I thought that I just loved that Mads Mikkelsen clearly had like so much fun in that role. I loved his acting. I absolutely love Phoebe Waller-Bridge and almost everything she's in. This one, her performance for me, I thought she was extremely funny. There were some moments that were hit and miss, but Mads Mikkelsen never missed for me. He was so good. He was so in it. He was the man. And I loved it.
He was a Mads man.
He was a Mads
agree
man.
with everything Whitney just said. Phoebe Waller-Bridge, I was like, okay, I know what I'm going to get out of her. But then there were a couple times I was like, we're doing too much.
Yeah.
There's a couple times he was like, we're doing too much. Mads Mikkelsen, you could tell he was happy. He was like Eddie Murphy coming to America. I'm very happy to be here.
Yes.
That's how Mads Mikkelsen is in this whole movie.
He's just having a great time.
He loves playing a villain.
Yeah.
He does. And he just eats it up, too.
Bringing everyone back, and also all those other actors are still very good actors.
Right.
Yes.
So I was like, this is insane. It's weird to be like, the only person lacking, I guess, would have been like not even the child. The child was good. The child was great.
He was
The child
great, yeah.
And when I say lacking, I'm just saying that like if everyone's a 30 on a scale of 10,
Right.
and then it's like, okay, who was the 29?
He's the kid actor.
Who's the
You know, it's
29?
like you get what you get and you don't get upset.
But he was really good. I was gonna say Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Yeah.
He was really good. I think the acting was great.
I agree. I thought Phoebe Waller-Bridge made a great addition to the franchise. I could see her spinning off into an adventure, an Indiana Jones adventure. I also agree with you guys. There were times where some of her dialogue was a bit of a hat on a hat, but I also thought they did a nice job of having Indiana Jones be, without looking angry, the right amount of annoyed with it. Like he was always like, when she called him Jonesy, he's like, Jonesy, what the hell is that?
Do you think she improvised?
I think I have a theory that in the cave, when she does the ba-ba-ba-ba, to hear the echo, I think she improvised that because Harrison Ford seems pleased as punch to
Be able to go along with it.
Yeah, and it just seems something off character
That's
for.
true.
So I like that, and I'm sure like they probably let her rip a little bit. I mean, she's a
Rip?
really
She's so funny.
improvised. R.I.P.
I thought you said like rip like a fart.
No, they probably let
See,
her.
shout out to Evan in the background, let it loose.
For crying out loud, guys, this show has no dignity. I
No
worked so
doubt.
hard. No dignity. No dignity. No doubt.
No destiny, only dials.
That's right.
Only dial.
All dials, no breaks. That guy's canceled. So, yeah, I think in terms of the acting, for me, it was good. Both Mads Mikkelsen and Boyd Holbrook have made careers out of being evil characters, and then you hear them in interviews, and they're delightful. They're very nice.
He's so perfect.
And you won't believe what Boyd revealed to me in my interview,
Oh no!
but you'll have to watch.
Tell us what it is.
Let's put it this way. It's going to change the hierarchy
No.
of the DCEU
DCEU.
forever.
Okay.
Why? It was not even a DC movie.
That's what was so crazy about
He was
it.
like, "Did you know?"
Did you know?
So I think, if I recall, I believe I gave the acting a high score, but let's see what those scores were for this. Yes, I gave it a 5, and everyone else gave it 4s. Look at me.
Well,
Look at me, the thespian.
I will
wow.
say the one flaw in this grading is I'm like, after talking it out with you guys, I forget a lot of things. We saw this
I know.
movie, I saw this movie like 2 weeks ago. So I'm like, there's a million movies between them. It's all past lives.
I think, all of my friends, the present company included, would agree that I am an unreasonable person. But I can be reasoned with when it comes to movies.
Yeah,
and a lot of
easily.
times when we do these discussions, I'm like, oh yeah, I agree with you. Just in my own inner monologue, unreasonable.
fan of myself. I was high.
I don't believe you.
I think he thinks you're lying.
I do love to lie. Anything from the chat, or are people being a little shy about the
We have
dialogue?
no chat.
Well, once we get
Keep
to
it
direction, I got a
going.
lot to talk about.
All right, let's talk about directing, because I also have some things to share.
You want
Jessica, talk to me about the directing. James Mangold, director of Logan, director of the seminal hit Kate and Leopold. And as we know, as we previously
Ford v.
mentioned,
Ferrari.
Ford v. Ferrari.
They
What did
come
you-
in threes.
What did you guys think of James Mangold as the director?
I don't think the direction was there. And the reason I don't think the direction was there is because you have a bunch of great actors that you don't really need to actually direct. You're like, hey, here's your lines. This is what the script says. Just go with it. And it kind of comes across because there's so many scenes where I was like, I don't think Phoebe Waller-Bridge knows who she's talking to or what she, in one direction she's supposed to be like elevating her voice, or like she's in a car that's literally barreling down a cliff. Why is she laughing?
Yes.
I was like, the direction, she's still a woman that was like afraid of when like the fire exploded. So I was like, this is just weird. I also, the direction when they go into the war, and this is all in just like, is this what we really wanted to take away from it? But I will say that scene of her punching him in the face, everyone in our theater was they sighed of relief.
Absolutely.
Of like, thank fucking God.
Yeah.
Which I guess is in the writing of
Yeah,
the
I think we
director.
were all afraid that they were going to leave him in the past and
I
we
was
were going
gonna
to see like a
scream.
cave painting of Indiana Jones.
Well,
That's what I
he was
thought.
the-
That's what I thought.
I thought he was the one in the tomb.
Well, I know the Nazi dude was. You think it was him because of the watch, but it's really Archimedes. But you find out it's like this whole cycle.
Yeah.
Because
It's
they went in the
gonna keep
past,
doing
it
it.
keeps
It's just gonna
I think, like I said, and Whitney, I want to hear from you as well. The movie's too long. The movie's just too long. I don't like when I can sense this. I felt the second time I saw it, the audience getting a little stressed out. Like they're like, okay, let's keep moving. I mean, all of the sequences are necessary, but the car chase scene with the tuk-tuk, way too long. That
It
sequence
also-
was so long.
Unnecessary.
You talking about
Unnecessary.
Tunisia, whatever?
Yeah.
The 10 years, whatever they were.
10
that,
year, yeah.
That was too long.
And
Why
I think-
even bring in that other squad of the thieves? They're not thieves. They were like again.
Yeah,
I was like, there's no need.
The jilted lover, and then
The
I
children,
think,
that was made no sense.
Oh yeah, that
Right.
was wild.
Sorry.
I was
No, it's
also
okay.
like, because I
Sorry.
guess
Sorry,
that
Thomas.
part was obviously included specifically to be like, she's just like her godfather.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
both womanizing little sluts.
I
I was like, I was getting that without this scene.
yeah, like I already got that.
Well,
Look at
and
it.
you get it, and again, another, I think, kind of unfortunately there's a sequence or two too long on the boat with the diving. You get that when she's flirting. You could get the same effect of who this
Yes.
character is
Yes.
from the way she flirts with the handsome young
Yes.
diver that you get from the whole ex-fiance storyline or angle. It just added, both scenes added to me a little bit extra in the movie. Now, I do think this is important. This movie was filmed and delayed and restarted through COVID. So when you're making a huge, large-scale film like this and you have to take these stoppages, it's kind of understandable that maybe some of the performances won't necessarily be completely in lockstep, or that, you know, they shoot a ton and there's a lot of time to like think about what to leave in and what, you know, and maybe I wonder if when you're not pressed against such a time crunch, maybe you make poor editing decisions.
Can I say who did it really well? Ryan Coogler in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Sure.
And he
Yeah.
talked about it. He was like, we had to reshoot, do everything because of COVID, then because of other stipulations. And I have to cheer on and root everyone and support them so much so they all come together. And he's like, you have to do that for a long time. And I was like, that's a great director. That's a great job. Sorry,
Yeah.
Jay, keep going.
Don't worry. I know that Indiana Jones movies have death in it. That's fine. There was so much murder.
Yeah.
Yo, when they just murdered the people in the
They
college.
did them like the
There was a
stormtroopers.
whole
They did them
troop
straight up
of
like
came in, it's like
stormtroopers.
stormtroopers just murdering people.
went bop.
And they were just, and once again, those were just like adjunct professors.
Professors!
Why?
They just gave them a
Why?
clock.
Yeah,
Guys
I
that
know.
probably don't even have tenure in this economy.
You know, in 69 after the war.
They kind of like ran up on a dead body and he went, oh no, and then pop.
Although-
I thought it was kind of funny.
Although kind of a nice moment in the boat when Phoebe Waller-Bridge is like, I always say, when you want to get out of a situation, nothing works better than dynamite. And Harrison Ford's like, my friend just got murdered.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, my friend just got
What are
murdered.
you talking
Murder.
about?
What are you talking
My
about?
friend just was
I was
murdered.
like, all right.
That was
I thought
very
that was a
nice.
nice
That was
reality
very
Also,
check.
he tortured Antonio Banderas.
I
He
know.
shot him in the knee first,
But-
then shot him.
By the way, Antonio Banderas It's a yes, please for me.
That's a yes, anything.
That is a
anything.
yes,
Give it to
daddy.
me, Zorro.
Even if you could ugly him up with a scraggly beard and a limp, it doesn't matter. I'll get on that fishing boat for a 3-hour tour. I hope we get marooned. That's
Me and
right.
Brandon were sitting next to each other when watching this, and first off, do not see a movie with me and Brandon because we chat.
It's true.
And we kept being like, why they still look good? Why does everybody look good? And we just kept doing it. We just kept yelling, and it's insane. If there's a hot scale on this, it breaks the scale. It's whip ass. It's whip ass.
Well,
It whips ass.
And also, you have to remember, Brandon's had a lot of work done. Christian Unpronounceable says, in what year is this movie set? Late 60s, right?
1969.
1969?
That's
Summer
right.
of 69?
They went to the moon in 1969,
Oh, right.
and that's
Remember,
a
that's the
Shia
whole-
LaBeouf
Stevens.
reference.
Because
Yeah, I was
remember,
like,
that's
a
why they had the
Shia LaBeouf.
parade. Because
Right.
the astronaut's coming back.
Because even Steven.
And during that year, Bryan Adams was forming all the memories that would eventually lead to him writing the song Summer of 69.
Hell yeah!
I love
wow,
Bryan
that's
Adams.
true.
I've
That's
seen him
Wow,
live.
not a phrase you hear a lot, especially
seen
on the
him
break room. Man, I love Bryan Adams.
That Bryan Adams.
You know who I love? Kenny Loggins, and that's true. I actually do love him. All right, so let's go look at our scores for this. Oh, straight 4s across the board.
Whoa.
I'm too generous. I need to
Straight
start being as ruthless as Brandon is with these.
I think I could have been rude.
I should have gave it a
I'm
2
not gonna
because
be
it did
ruthless.
irritate me.
I liked the movie.
Yeah.
You can like it, and I love this movie.
I
But I
also-
still can point out when the direction is.
I
I
think
am not mad if anyone doesn't like this movie. I also liked Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls.
Yeah.
My opinion means nothing.
Which one is the one that has the racism in it?
All of
All
them?
of them.
Oh, no, no.
Two.
There's
That's
one where
all.
they
Well, 2
specifically
is over.
make a
2
group
is a
look
little
like
on the nose.
savage. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that's what it is. I was
But
like,
Also,
I
one,
skipped that one.
The Jovitos tribe in the beginning
Sure.
is a little.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Good lord.
I mean, the 80s, it was a wild time. We hadn't really figured out this whole race thing yet. But we
We
got
still
it now.
haven't.
No, I'm just kidding. It's a
We
joke.
still
yeah,
haven't.
yeah, of course. Yeah, everything's awful and everything sucks. And just go to movies and watch TV and hug your loved ones. And don't go outside because the earth is burning. Anyway, speaking of burning, how about that Red Hot soundtrack and score? How did everyone feel about the sound and music by the maestro of the movies, 91-year-old Johnny Dubs, Johnny Will,
Johnny
Big
Dubs.
Johnny Style, John Williams?
Do you like John Williams more than Danny Elfman?
Oh, don't
Because you
make
just said the number one, and I think
Well,
Danny Elfman.
Danny Elfman is number
John
one.
Williams'
Yeah,
He's
he's
Boingo
my-
Boingo. He is multifaceted. John Williams isn't in a sick horror-themed 80s
Yeah, he's not.
band.
To be fair,
agree.
John Williams is nicknamed the maestro of the movies for his Hollywood Bowl performances, his iconic.
Okay.
Okay,
I
Danny
have seen-
Elfman performs at the Hollywood Bowl all the time, and
Whitney,
I've
I
seen,
won't
he's
fight with
amazing.
you over
Fight it.
this.
Fight it.
I think it's 3v1.
I've seen Danny Elfman in concert 3 times. I've seen John Williams simply once.
I
Okay?
think that Danny
So,
Elfman could kick
that's
John
your-
Williams'
Well,
ass in
easy,
a cage fight.
easy.
I don't
Yeah,
want to
too.
think about my 2 dads fighting.
Yes, you do.
But I do want to think about this music. First of all, some really funnily well-placed 60s music at the beginning of the movie to set the tone.
That's true.
The Beatles being played by the hippies outside way too loud, pissing off old Indiana Jones. And thinking of Indiana Jones as old in 1969, it's all kind of a mind
And
F.
like being mad about the youths.
Yes.
He's so
And the
mad
moon.
at the youth.
And being mad,
He's
like,
pissed
why
at
did
the
you go-
moon,
He's
He's pissed at the
hungover.
youths.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
everything.
hungover and
He's
shit.
very hungover. and
Because
he's-
the thing is, he's had real adventures.
Yeah.
Like, his life has come down from, like, I've been chased through caves. I had my heart almost taken out. Short round.
I drank the blood of the cow.
Yeah, drank the blood. I've been through all of this. And now, when I go to sleep, I'm already an ornery old man. A bunch of dirty hippies
Me.
is waking me
Me
up.
too.
So he got to go in his boxer drawers, a backwards t-shirt, which I love.
I
love the fact
too.
he didn't put on the shirt right, just threw it on.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
just-
remember when I did that for a Secret Invasion watch along?
Yes, he did.
Your shirt's inside.
I had to be like, Tommy. He was like, what do you mean? I was like, Tommy, it's kind of bad. Get a
I
polo
also-
shirt on.
I also woke up in a daze that day.
Yeah, because he was late.
I'm always late. That's my secret. Even when I'm out, I'm late.
Oh my god, he's pregnant. He's pregnant.
Am I?
Congratulations.
You're late.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Guys, come on. My mom's watching. I've never even kissed a girl.
You gonna kiss a dude. So
All right. Fitting to kiss anybody these days. Whatever. All right. Come on. Love is love. Jesus, for crying out loud. And also John Williams, Indiana Jones. It's up there. It's iconic.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
I don't think I even noticed it, which is really sad because there was so much going on
Yeah.
that the score didn't hit me as hard.
I love Marion's theme.
I just
too.
love Marion's theme
Yeah.
so much. It's so beautiful and
So the
pretty.
score didn't move you.
No, which is unfortunate. And this year it sucks even more because you have like Across the Spider-Verse, and that was really good.
Yeah.
So I'm now like putting everything. I'm like, whoa,
Transformers Rise of the Beast.
Oh, even Transformers. Oh
And remember,
God.
Transformers Across the Spider-Verse was done by Mr. Metro Booming.
Wait,
wrong.
Transformers was also Metro Boomin?
No, Spider-Man.
You said Transformers.
Oh, you
Oh,
did.
Spider-
You did.
oh.
Transformers.
That's what you realize
Across
what
the
you
Spider-Verse.
said.
You did. That's why I said, wait,
I
you
want
did
you to realize what you said.
Are you having a stroke, Tony?
You know how the
Why does it
Transformers
smell
are
like toast in
connected
here?
to the web?
Oh,
of
God,
life
Evan
and
got the
destiny
hoop again.
now?
All I taste are pennies.
Oh, ew. Put your tongue away.
Mr. Booming, fantastic job on Spider-Verse. Whoever did Transformers, good try. Jessica, I agree with you. I think the iconic Indiana Jones score was kind of a background element of the music in this, like almost as if they were afraid to lean on it. And for, the real indie heads in the room, all of us, except for you, who has self-admitted not seen as much of it, right?
And Jay?
I rated
Jay.
it lower because he already had four other movies to practice on.
Yeah.
So that's why I rated him lower because I was like, this isn't the first time
sound?
I've heard these
Right.
songs.
Oh, John
This
Williams.
is the first time
You're saying
I've
this
heard
is not your
Williams
first
sing.
rodeo.
This ain't my first rodeo with John Williams.
All right, so let's
Do you think he just got like, not tired, but John Williams is like, especially
I
with
can
his
do this
depth
shit
of
in
work,
my
he's like,
sleep.
he's like,
Yeah,
I can just
it's
do
I think this is what
Bastard.
happened. They shook him and he went, ah! And they're like, Mr. Williams, there's a fifth Indiana Jones movie.
Okay.
And he went, who the fuck is Indiana Jones?
In his sleep, he went,
Ah!
He wakes up
And then his hand just started conducting.
But it wasn't conducting, it was just really a shaking. He
Yeah.
couldn't stop it, so he just put the little stick in his hand.
That's right. And there he made the music.
he is one of those artists that can just like, pardon the phrase, shit on a record and make it gold.
Yeah.
It's John
He's
Williams.
just good
So
at it.
go off.
He's no Danny Elfman. Let's see our scores.
I'm leaving.
555, and Whitney gave it a
Yeah.
3.
Because, like I said, he had practice.
I
It's
should've-
not like
Yeah.
he didn't. This isn't the first
Okay.
thing he's ever done. I'm sorry. He's a champ.
If I could change mine, I would change it to a 3. I don't know why I put 5. It makes no sense for me to put
Y'all
5.
love
Maybe
the
I got
music.
it. I read it
What
backwards.
What we've proven here
I did
today
not.
is
Do not say that.
Jessica is a
Okay, you
hypocrite.
lied.
No,
Yeah, Jessica's
I'm
a liar.
not. I'm a lot of
We've
things,
learned.
but a hypocrite is not.
Now we've got some comments. Renew Sino Uranus. Oh my God.
In the group chat,
Jay, you moved the desk forward and I almost fell to my death
in the
there.
group chat, Jessica says, genuinely don't remember the score. I'll try to re-listen. LMAO.
Oh, all right. Thank you,
try.
off-screen producer John.
Oh, pulling up receipts.
Can you bring up the part where I said crack ass crack?
I don't know how to say your name, but you say, as a Canadian, we protect Bryan Adams at all costs. I agree. You protect Bryan Adams.
Right
You
on.
protect Tragically Hip, R.I.P. Gord. You protect the Bare Naked Ladies. And, of
I
course,
love the
you
Bare
protect
Naked Ladies.
Celine Dion and
And
Shania
Ryan
Twain.
Reynolds.
And Ryan
Yeah, and
Reynolds.
Ryan
And Ryan
Reynolds.
Gosling.
And
And Jim
Seth
Carrey.
Rogen.
And Mike Myers. And everyone from Canada. Ryan Painter said, if you could make an indie film, what year would you set it in? The year he dies, 2001, right? is that canonically when he dies?
Well, okay, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Can I ask a question as someone that doesn't watch a lot of the movies?
Sure.
So, if he did die, would it actually affect a lot of people's lives in the universe? Because he's a teacher, right?
Right.
So a lot of his students would just be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, our teacher died." But do you think there's a lot of people that would come out of the woodworks for that funeral?
I think you'd
No,
get
that's
a lot of...
also what I thought. Because what I was thinking though was like, if you die in the past, don't you die, and then you aren't born?
I don't want to think too much
Isn't
about
that how it
It's
works?
too-
Yes.
Yeah,
100%.
because like if he goes back to the past and he dies, then how is he ever born if he's dead?
Lord have
Yeah.
mercy.
And then how do all these
No,
children
you're right.
learn?
You're correct.
I'm
who
smelling
has-
toast
who has the
again.
arm?
Doc!
I'm
Whitney's
sorry.
not wrong.
I
She's
need
not
to
wrong.
know these things.
I
I
will-
pitched this as a
Well,
video,
I'd
and everyone
want it-
told me it was a dumb idea. And I think you can't. If you die in the past, you die in real life. It's Freddy Krueger rules, but for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Disney was like, "We ain't doing that. It's too much math."
First of all,
I think
legalize Freddy Krueger. What were you going to say?
No. What? No. No. If I could have it set in a time, if I could have Indiana Jones set in a time, I want it specifically only, well, I guess in this time, but only in Studio 54. And I want it to just be disco as hell. And I just want
Yeah,
crazy. And I want
Disco
drugs everywhere. I want
Jones.
Indiana Jones to do
Indiana
a line
Jones
of cocaine.
goes through a coke phase.
He gets addicted. They're
He got the
"Please
whip
come
out.
with
He doing
us."
it at the off the base of the whip. Just
They're like, "Indy, we need you to come back with us." He's like, "Nah, I can't."
I get it. I love this song.
Drawing math on the walls.
Shakes. Why does it have to be shakes? Okay. Guys, the correct answer is 1976 for the bicentennial. All right,
Okay.
let's see what our final score for this feature film was. We give it an 84 out of 100. Not bad.
That's very good.
Us.
Yeah.
That's almost as old as Harrison Ford.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, that's about his age.
That's the age
Oh.
that Jay and I thought he was until today when I Googled it and found out he was only
See,
84.
I thought he was 84.
No.
I thought he was 84 too.
You're my boy Jay, but our other friend, your boy Jay, it was reading my mind because I was wondering, guys, where would you put this movie in the hierarchy of Indiana Jones movies? Your boy Jay, we thank you for that.
I put it as number 1, but that's because I've seen 3 altogether.
Okay.
Including this one. I think it was more time than
Number 3 for me.
Number
What?
3?
We'll talk about this offline.
Whitney?
I'm doing number 4 because I'm just a real slut for the original 3. Like, you can't take those away from me. I grew up with them. I've seen them 100 billion times. There's nothing that could knock them. That order for me is Last Crusade, Raiders, Temple of Doom. Then I'd go Dial of Destiny. Then I'd...
Well, I'm glad
Yeah.
you did that because that's what we're just about to ask everyone to do. Guys, bonus segment because we have a little bit of time. Rank these movies worst to best. I'll go first because it's my show. Worst, Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second worst, or fourth best, Dial of Destiny.
Yeah.
Third, actually, they just go in order for me. Let me spoil it for you.
Wait.
Last Crusade, Temple of Doom, Raiders of the Lost Ark. They go in the order they came out. I'm sorry, I'm a purist. You know, I like things the way they come out. I feel the same way about Godfather movies, except for in reverse order. Godfather
Second,
3
2 is the first one.
best.
2 is the best. Are you
3,
guys-
1, 3.
You guys are out of your mind.
You guys,
2,
3
1,
is
3.
Godfather 3 is an incredible achievement.
Don't you do this. Don't you do this. Don't you do this.
Out of your mind.
Don't you
Out
do
of
this.
your
I'm kidding. I'm shitposting, like the kids say. Jessica, your rankings?
I'm gonna put Shia LaBeouf's as the worst.
Okay.
And I saw it in theaters when I was a child, and then I walked out.
Oh yeah, mine's not
You
in
were a
order
child.
because I ranked
I was
4
definitely
worst.
in a child.
Wait, I really am having a stroke
I was a
today.
schoolgirl.
Tommy.
You know what happens? I'm sorry, Whitney. I'm interrupting
Oh,
you.
you're okay.
I put too much pressure on myself to try and structure this show.
Yeah.
And I lose all sense of motor function.
You want me to take over the rest?
Yes, please. Can you host the rest of this?
Yeah.
Jay, you go because I can't think of even what the other 3 are. Right
Well,
now.
Whitney was saying something though. Whitney, what
Oh,
was
I
She,
don't
we were
know.
she was telling me that I
just-
was much younger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's a nice
I'm just
compliment.
old.
You're not.
No, you're not.
I'm Dial of Destiny.
Guys, we've lost the thread here. Jay,
Jay?
give us your ranking.
All right, so I'm gonna go on my scale of blackness.
Okay.
Nothing else to add.
Hey, I feel it.
So I'll go for me. This is me personally.
Okay.
Temple of Doom, Raiders, Last Crusade. No, Temple of Doom, Raiders, Dial of Destiny, Last Crusade, Crystal Skull 5.
So you went best to worst, which was not what I asked you to do.
Hey,
What is happening
Hey.
here?
what is that?
I did that too.
Worst
worst
to
to
best.
He started his whole argument as a black man.
So it's gonna be
And you're
backwards.
an
Don't you then tell me what to do.
Okay, you're right. You're right. Hey guys, Kevin Ford, I want to apologize for my remarks. What I
That
said
shoulder
was
is so
problematic.
tight. Loosen up.
Listen, this is home for me. Oh, bring my babies in.
I don't like this. Is
We look like an adoption video.
That's that was a rejected trailer poster for Get Out. I voted for Obama twice. No.
I agree with Jay's. But I'm gonna throw. I just like this first one. I like it so much, and for people that maybe it was a very long movie. I think a lot of Indiana Jones movies are long movies. So anybody that's like a pacing person that needs the attention span made for 2023 versus like 1984.
Yeah, I would've loved it at
Yeah.
This is
top.
great.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, the beginning is keeping my attention, whereas in all the other 80s movies, I was like, I lost my attention.
Right.
There's always
okay.
like a solid 25
Yeah.
minutes where you watch him just teach
Yep.
an archaeology class, and you're like,
And I'm like,
what?
Those are my favorite minutes. I love when I learn. Now, if you enjoy these movies, Whitney and I did a watch along of the first movie, Raiders of the
We
Lost Ark, that
did.
is available on Twitch. And John, are we going to put that up on the YouTube? Soon. It'll be up there soon.
Yeah.
So hang out with me and Whit for a little longer. Hang out with the 4 of us for a little longer as I ask you guys, what are your 4th of July plans?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I will be going to the Tommy Bechtold 4th of July extravaganza at his house, at his pool. Pugsley's going to be there. It's going to be great.
Great, Jessica?
I wasn't invited, so I'm going
Well, it
to
just came-
I'm going to
The
Eric
plans got
Lewis's
made.
party.
It just
Like
came together
yesterday.
today.
Okay,
to
I
be
got
fair.
Eric's house.
All
party,
right,
too.
fine. Jessica's angry now. Thank you, Whitney, for nothing.
I'm so
Jay?
sorry.
I will be going to the gym before they close at 4 p.m.
Oh, my God. It makes sense because I'm now framed out of this shot because of your biceps. And I will be at Eric Lewis's party as well.
I wasn't invited to Eric's party.
Laughing at all the
You
people
did.
that are at my party. Guys, have a great 4th of July weekend. Be safe. For
Hey,
Whitney.
read all that.
Bye.
Plug next week's
Oh,
program.
yeah, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Because of the holiday next week, we'll be streaming a pre-taped episode on Monday with Brandon, Danielle, and Hector revealing who they might think is a scroll. Then, Wednesday, catch us live twice for 9:30 Inside Marvel and 3 p.m. for Tommy and Jay watching episode 3 live. What was finished last week?
And finally, on Thursday, producer John will be playing some Marvel Snap.
Probably.
Probably.
No
No
promises.
promises.
I'll see you guys
Okay.
at RTA.
For Whitney, for Jessica, for Jay, for me, for giant producer Evan,
Massive
proud.
producer.
for
So
Dashiell on the keys, and for John staring
On his
at
ass.
us like a cutie boy and giving me live fact checking. We say thank you for watching. Keep it Gucci to Moochie. Goodbye.
Bye.